Hello guys on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. I'm about to do a weather update for your Wednesday, May 13th, 2026. And as you know, it is hump day. We're in the middle of the week on this Wednesday. Week's half over. So let's go ahead and get started with the weather. Let's go to radar. We're going to zoom out, see if there's anything across the air. Actually, let's put on composite. See what we got here on composite. And if I need to zoom this in, I can. But there's nothing around the area. There's a little bit of rain over in here near Philadelphia, but there's nothing major. Bunch of red flag warnings and fire weather watches still in the same areas. Okay, we're going to switch it up and do things a little different tonight. We're going to go over the outlooks real quick on what the warning polygons are. And then we will do the HazCams. And then we'll do here's what we'll do. We're going to go over the outlooks first. And then we'll do the warnings. And then we'll do the HazCams. So guys, we're going to start with the outlooks first. We're going to mix it up a little bit tonight. We're going to start with the outlooks. See what the probabilistic severe weather outlook is for today. So here's the probabilistic for Friday. The brown area is a fit 5% of any risk. Okay. The hatched area is a 5%. Yellow is a 15%. That's for Friday. Here's Saturday. 15% of any risk. And Sunday. Right up here, the 15% risk. Now let's look at the categoricals. So here's day one, which is tonight. A general thunderstorm risk from eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, all around New Jersey, and those parts of the United States. Same for outside of here. The green is a marginal risk. Level 1 marginal risk. Level 2 slight risk in Montana up to Canada. That's today. Here's tomorrow. Marginal risk of severe weather. Missouri. Nebraska. Okay. Why is the thing so fuzzy today? Kansas. Missouri. Oklahoma. And those areas. It's in the green. Slight risk is this yellow area, level 2. And then here's day 3. The yellow risk shifts a little bit to the east, but almost includes the same areas. And then, let's look at the hail risk. Is there a hail risk? No, there is not for tonight. Is there a hail risk for tomorrow? Yes, there is. 5% in the brown, 5% in the brown hail conditioned group 1 risk. In the hatched area, 15% hail risk, hatched area in those areas. Now let's look at the wind threat. There's none on the, well, yeah, there is. Oh man, let me go back to that. Did I do that? No, I did it right. Okay. Is there a wind threat today? Yep, right up here. In the brown and up to Montana and into Canada. That's a wind risk. Day 2, we do have a wind risk. 5% wind risk in the brown. The yellow is a 15% wind risk. Tornado risk. Do we have a tornado risk on the board? No, we do not. Day 2. Yep, there's a small area of a tornado risk right here. But it's a small area that goes from just north well, the northern part of near Wichita, Kansas. So that's the outlooks. Now we're going to go over the watches and warnings. Then after that, we'll do the HAZ cams. We're trying things just a little bit different tonight. I know not everybody likes change, but we decided we're going to switch it up just a little bit. Switch it up just a little bit. So let's go over the watches and warnings. As you guys can see, a tornado warning is light red, which is radar indicated. Tornado warnings that are dark red is observed. PDS tornado warnings, particularly dangerous situation, is purple. Tornado emergencies is pink. Severe thunderstorm warnings are yellow. The considerable severe thunderstorm warnings is orange. Which, if you see a black on the outside of any of the severe thunderstorm warning polygons, a black outline, that means a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. Destructive severe thunderstorm warnings is a reddish pink. EDS, extremely dangerous situation, severe thunderstorm warning is purple. And then we go to flash flood warning, which is a lime green or light green. Observed flash flood is red. PDS flash flood warning is purple, particularly dangerous situation. Flash flood emergencies are magenta. Let's look at tornado watches. Tornado watches are normally yellow. PDS tornado watches, particularly dangerous situation, is purple. Severe thunderstorm watches are pink. PDS severe thunderstorm watches, particularly dangerous situations, is purple. And then flash flood watches are dark green, with the PDS particularly dangerous situation flash flood watch, which is purple. Now we're going to the HAZ cams. And we're going to go to the HAZ cams. It also shows the storm chaser cams as well. And I can see we already have a storm chaser camera right here. We'll look at that whenever we're done with the HAZ cams. See what he's showing. So let's start with the HAZ camera here in Litchfield. Let's see which direction this is facing. Let's go to the HAZ cam site and full screen it. So here is Litchfield. Here it is, here what it looks like here in Litchfield. Looks like they've zoomed the camera out just a little bit where you can see no, they've zoomed it in. So you can see 62 just a little bit better. There's the water tower. There's Warren RECC Electric. Yeah, you can see cars going up and down Highway 62. But yeah, that's what it looks like in town. And I got my phone on the selfie stick in case you're wondering. So we're gonna go from Litchfield to, we're gonna do Gage, Kentucky first. On the western side of Kentucky. See what it looks like over in the flatland of western Kentucky, in Gage, Kentucky. So here's the flatland of Gage, Kentucky, over in western Kentucky. You can see, it's a dark sky, you can see stars twinkling, you can see airplanes off in the distance of the sky. Okay, now we're going to look at Louisville, Metro Louisville, up there in Jefferson County, Metro Louisville. HAZCam. Let's see, I wonder if we'll be seeing some airplanes tonight fly in to Louisville International Airport. Let's see when I click on the airplane. Not airplane. Click on the weather cam. My bad. Do we have airplanes coming in? Yeah, there's one right there. Either it's coming in or it's either coming in or it's taking off. Another one right there. Yeah, I think it's landing because it's getting darker or brighter. I think those are UPS airplanes because there's multiple airplanes and they're far apart. I think they're UPS airplanes. Because I know those have been transporting a lot of stuff here lately. And then we're going to look at the newest camera, which has a beautiful view over in Lancaster, Kentucky, in Garrard County. Look at the newest camera. So this is Garrard County. Look at that. I just saw an airplane go across it. Off into the sky. So this is Garrard County, the newest weather cam, the newest HazCam. You can see a car going around downtown Garrard County. I think this is on the square. I think this is on the square or downtown Garrard County. Because if I'm not mistaken, the water tower that's in downtown, I'm going to say, is that attached to a building or is it behind a building? The water tower in Garrard County. But this is looks like it's on the square in Garrard County. There goes a car going down the road. And it looks like at the highway signs is Highway 27 and 39 or 35. It says Highway 27. It's either Highway 27 or 127. But you can see this is Garrard County. There's a truck pulling at the traffic light. We'll watch this truck go through the traffic light. And then we'll switch it over to the camera. Bye-bye, truck. Thanks for letting us see you. Bye-bye, truck. Thanks for letting us see you. And there goes the car. Wow. And there goes a vehicle speeding on camera. I don't know if they realize that the cops can see that. Lordy, he was driving fast. So that was Lancaster in Garrard County, which is actually one county over from, I think, Boyle County, which is Danville. So we're going to look at Pikeville, Kentucky, over in the mountains. And then we're going to close the weather cams off with Moorhead. So here's the mountains of Pikeville, Kentucky. You can see lights down there. You know, one thing, I have lived in Kentucky my whole life, but I've never lived in a town by the mountains. I've heard in the mountain regions of Kentucky it does flood a lot. But in the western parts, western parts, they get like tornadoes and stuff. They have more of a risk of like tornadoes because it's flatland over in the western Kentucky area and out west of that. But in the Appalachian Mountains and eastern parts of Kentucky, flooding is usually the most common thing when it comes to thunderstorms. And I'm not talking about now. I'm going back. What I'm talking about is the most common things with risk with storms, and I'm going back in weather history when I'm talking about that, because in the past, the eastern Kentucky and the mountains has had history with floods, and western Kentucky has had history with tornadoes. But let's go to Moorhead, Kentucky. Let's look at the camera, the last camera of the night, which is Moorhead, Kentucky, with that big O water tower with the big light on top of it that shines up to the sky. Imagine if they had one of those big lights that shines in the sky, like what you see right there on top of our water towers. Imagine if they had something like that in our town, here in Litchfield, something like that. That would be something, because you want to know something? If they had a big light on top of our water towers in Litchfield, then our water towers would be easier to spot miles away. That would be something to have in a small town like this, if we had a big light on top of our water towers. But that's it as far as the composite radar. No, it's not. We're going to look at the Storm Chaser guy, this is Brandon Kobik. Let's look at his shot. This is from Callaway County, Missouri. Nola Vebor working supporting playlist. Trying to see if his live camera will show, because I actually want to see where he's at. It says the Storm Chaser camera is able. He might be having some issues. We'll give it one more retry and then we'll just do away with it. Yep. Nothing. Okay. We're going to go to the National Weather Service in Louisville weather stories. So here's a late week outlook from the National Weather Service in Louisville weather story. It says Thursday, sunny and dry conditions, which tonight says lows between 40 and 46. Overnight in the Thursday, sunny and dry, highs on Thursdays between 68 and 72 degrees. Tomorrow night, lows between 40 and 46. Friday, isolated rain showers. And then it says key messages. Below average temperatures Thursday, warm to at or above average on Friday. And then it says cool to cold morning temperatures Thursday and Friday. And a significant warming pattern arrives this weekend with near record-breaking highs. Expect dry conditions through Thursday night, and the only isolated rain chance returning mainly along and north of Interstate 64 for Friday. Temperatures will run below normal during this time. Expect some especially cool mornings both Thursday and Friday. And you want to know what else? You know why they're saying that? Because we're going to hit the 90s. And I don't know if you guys know this, but on like very, very hot summer days, on very, very hot summer days, heat lightning is always in the sky. Sometimes if you see bright orange lightning that happens on hot days, just know it's not thunderstorm lightning, it's heat lightning. Heat lightning's normal. Heat lightning is normal in the summer on hot days. And then it says summer weather on the way. Afternoon thunderstorms on Saturday, highs between 83 and 88 degrees. Sunday PM clearing, highs between 84 and 89 degrees. Monday afternoon storms, highs between 86 and 91 degrees. Tuesday PM clearing thunderstorms, highs between 84 and 89 degrees. Key messages, it says highs in the mid to upper 80s and some low 90s as well as mid 60s. Dew points will make for rather uncomfortable conditions. Chances for high temps at or above 90 is not high as of now. 5 to 10% Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 20% Monday and Tuesday. And then here we go, 90-degree temperatures like I was talking about. 90-degree temperatures shows here. It says under key messages, our first taste of summer heat is expected this weekend into early next week. Highs in the mid to upper 80s are likely this weekend, with the potential of some places reaching 90 degrees Sunday and Monday. Feeling sticky, dew points will be in the low to mid 60s through the weekend and into early next week. Average date, first 90 was in Louisville. First 90 degree weather was in Louisville, May 31st. Last 90 degree day experience was September 20th. September 20th, 2025, with 92 degrees, and the earliest 90 degree day ever was April 10th, 2011. And then it says Lexington, June 13th, average day night of 90 degrees, last 90 degree day experience September 20th, 2025, April 24th, 1925. And then it says Bowling Green, May 21st, average date, first 90 degree weather. And it says the last 90 degree day experience September 20th, 2025, with 94 degrees. And then the earliest 90 degree day ever was March 22nd, 1907. Oh man, just 2 days after spring in 1907. And then here's 0 to 12 hour forecast. Tonight's low temperatures are going to be in the 40s. Yesterday's lowest heat index was in the 50s. Wednesday night winds will be blowing north-northwest. And then tonight's wind gusts will be in the teens. Tonight, chance precipitation, there's none on the board expected right now. And then precipitation totals, there's none on the board for the next 0 to 12 hours. Now let's look at the 12 to 24 hour forecast. High temperatures tomorrow is going to be in the 70s and 60s. Heat index, 70s. And I see a 67 over there in Lexington. Winds are going to be blowing north-northwest into the single digits. Thursday afternoon wind gusts is going to be in the teens. Chances of precipitation tomorrow is not on the board. And precipitation totals is not on the board as well for the next 12 to 24 hours. Alright, so we're going to go back to radar, close off the National Weather Service, and we're going to look on the hourly forecast. It's going to be right here in the corner of the screen. Temperature right now outside is 58 degrees. Why do we have weather alerts going off? Oh, it's a severe thunderstorm warning over somewhere else. That ain't our area. I ain't worried about it. Yes, I get weather alerts for all 50 states on WeatherWise. But it says 58 degrees. 58 degrees. Outside right now. 57. Oh, it even goes down to 49 at 5:30 in the morning. 49, 51. Holy Jiminy Christmas. 49 degrees and 40 at 5:30. 61 degrees at 10, 63 at 11. And then we go back down to 50 at tomorrow after midnight into Friday. And then it feels like temperatures 52 degrees outside. Again, 40s dropping down in the mornings. And then 61 at noon. And then 50s tomorrow night. Now I'm kind of curious to see what the dew points look like. 40s, of course. Oh my gosh, 30s on the dew points. Freezing-like temperatures on the dew points. Oh my gosh. And 34. Yeah, in the 30s. So the dew points are going to be a little cool. Then the there's no precipitation expected that I can see for tomorrow or through the overnight. Yeah, I kind of wasn't expecting precipitation to be on the board for tomorrow, overnight. Check the humidity. The humidity is not that bad. Not that bad, but it's also can be a little low come nighttime tomorrow. And then the wind gust, it's blowing south. Right now it's blowing southwest, but it does change directions tomorrow and will blow straight south. And then it'll blow south-southeast, it looks like, in our area where we're at. Now we're going to go down to the 7-day forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies. Today was partly cloudy skies. High of 78 degrees, low 58 degrees. There was a small chance of rain, but it didn't happen. Tomorrow, sunny. Feels like 65, colder than today. High of 69 degrees, low of 49 degrees. Friday, cloudy. High of 80 degrees, low of 51 degrees. Warmer than yesterday. And then Saturday, here's where we was talking about the 90-degree temperature, folks. Light drizzle on Saturday. High of 90 degrees, low of 69 degrees. Chance of rain. If you're lucky. 40% chance if you're lucky to get rain near the 40%. Sunday, cloudy, mild conditions, high of 92 degrees, low of 70 degrees. Monday, light showers, chance of rain, high 90 degrees, low of 72 degrees. And then Tuesday, should have known this was coming. Should have known this was coming, because this always happens. Tuesday, showers, high of 81 degrees, low of 69 degrees, with 90% chance of precipitation. Feels warmer than it looks. 90% chance of precipitation with showers on Tuesday. And then it's going to cool down a little bit. And there's no active outlook suspected. Alright. So I've been holding the selfie stick for about 27 minutes now. Y'all should be proud of me. I actually held the selfie stick somewhat still throughout this whole 27 minutes that I was doing the weather. Or at least a good portion of it. I held it still. That, I just switched hands. But anyway, thank you guys for watching on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. I will be back tomorrow with another weather update for your Thursday.